Okay, quadratic formula day 2 notes. This is just going to take a look more specifically at the quadratic formula, okay, and a part of it. So we have this part that's called a discriminant. Okay, so the discriminant, of our quadratic formula is what's under that square root. So we have opposite of b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So the discriminant is this part here that we multiplied first. So the b squared minus 4ac. Now, that discriminant tells us information about the quadratic, okay, and how many solutions that we're going to end up with. So let's take a look at this little chart. So here we have the equation x squared plus 2x plus 5. We're going to multiply, find our discriminant. Now, our discriminant here is negative 16. Okay. So when I look at my graph, remember we had those different options for our graphs. My graph for this first equation is going to look something, and I don't know exactly where it's at, but it's going to go like that. It's going to be up above that x-axis. It's opening up, okay? So it's somewhere in these top two quadrants. It doesn't touch my x-axis. This negative discriminant tells me there's 0 real solutions. Okay, so 0 real solutions. Now, let's add one more underneath here, put imaginary. So if it has 0 real solutions, it has 2 imaginary solutions. Okay? Now, if we look at the second equation in our chart here, we have discriminant equals 0. Okay, so x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals 0. Now, that b squared minus 4ac equals 0. If it equals 0, like we saw in one of our other examples, again it's opening up, so this graph may come down, touch the x-axis, and right back up. So this vertex is right on the x-axis. So there's really only one real solution, 0 imaginary solutions. And a lot of times we'll call this, a double root. Okay, call that a double root. And then the third column of our chart here, we have 2x squared minus 7x plus 2. Again, if we plug in that discriminant, that b squared minus 4ac, we get a 33. It's positive. And so that means that our graph goes below that x-axis and hits it in two spots on our graph. So we have 2 real solutions and 0 imaginary solutions. Okay. So that's what we're doing with our discriminant. We're identifying how many solutions that we have, real, imaginary, or if it's a 0, we kind of have a double root, which is just one number. Okay. So let's take a look at these 3 examples here and find out what about our solutions here. So again, it still needs to be set up equal to 0. So we still have to get that equal to 0, so we're going to subtract 12 on both sides. So I have 3x squared plus 10x minus 12. again, we're just doing that discriminant, so we're going to do the b squared minus 4ac. That's all we're looking at. So b squared, so 10 squared minus 4 times a is 3 times c is negative 12. So we plug that into our calculator. And again, we can plug it in the whole thing just like we see it, just like we did in the quadratic formula. So 10 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 12. And that gives me 244. So positive number, 2 real solutions. And that's all we're doing with the discriminant. So positive number, 2 real solutions. So let's take a look at b. So b squared, so again, since it's negative, you either type it in with parentheses or just put the 30, minus 4 times a times c. This one's nice, it's already set equal to 0, so we're just taking our a, b, and c. So 30 squared minus 4 times 9 times 25. And we get 0. So then that tells us 1 real solution. And then in C, again, we got to get it equal to 0, so we're going to add that 10 over. So this becomes a positive 10. So 6x squared minus 10x plus 10. Now I can do my A, B, and C in my formula. So b squared, or opposite of b, no, b squared, so 10 squared minus 4 times a is 6 times c is 10. 10 squared minus 4 times 6 times 10. And that gives me a negative 140. Since it's negative, that means 2 imaginary solutions. If it's 2 imaginary solutions, how many real solutions? 0 real solutions. Alright? So be careful on a multiple choice question. They may say, how many real solutions are there? Well, there's 2 imaginary, which means there's 0 real. Okay? Alright.